It's MistaJam on Capital Dance, and right now I am joined by two old friends, two people I haven't seen in a very long time, two people who are very much a sight for sore eyes, and they have collabed on this week's Jam Hot Record of the Week. Studio crew, make some noise for Focus Katy B! Focus Katy B, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for having us on the show, man.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Last time I bumped into you was Tar Yard Studios. I said, I need to get you in the studio. I need to get you in on the radio. And now you're here.
Yeah. No, it's great to be here, man. It's been a while since I last saw you. I can't remember when it was.
Yeah, no, it's well over 12 months.
Yeah.
But Katie, I haven't seen you in such a long time.
No.
What's the secret? You haven't aged. You haven't aged a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Raving, just having a good time. Yeah. Keeps you young. Yeah.
We are all still young. We are all still very young. Now, listen, there's a load that I want to chat to you about, but we're going to start off with the reason why you're here, the collab, Push the Tempo. This record, when I first saw on paper, well, on email, that the pair of you had made a tune together, I'm like, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be good. But this is just next level.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Honestly, like, wow. Tell me, how did this collab come about?
So me and Kate have kind of known each other for a while through people like Scream and Benga, and then we actually go to see the same PT. So sometimes we bump into each other, crossing over at the gym.
It's not Nick Finney, is it?
Big up Nick Finney. Do you know Finney as well? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Legend in the game.
I follow him for his recipes and the cooking stuff that he does on his Insta.
Like a whole chicken, yeah. One sitting.
It's like man versus food. I love it. So you've got the same PT, you know, similar people. Like it's been one of those things that just hasn't happened until now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like Katie's always been someone I would have loved to work with, and like we ended up getting in the studio and just things came together really quickly, and we came up with this idea that became Push the Tempo, and it just it really excited me, man. I mean, Kate's not done loads of drum and bass, so it's really cool to get her on a drum and bass record.
It really is. Your voice, I mean, on D&B, it's yes.
Works so well. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's yes. And the way that the song develops as well, it feels like you've really encapsulated the euphoria of a really good night out and a really good DJ set that, you know, that obviously Sub Focus will always play. Katie, where do you get your inspiration from when you're writing songs like this, especially on D&B? Because it's hard, because it's faster.
I think I've had quite a lot of experience raving in the club. I haven't hung up my raving shoes yet, you know. I still love a night out, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've had such an amazing time as well performing it, you know, on Nick's sets as well, because he's got some pretty amazing gigs. So it's been so much fun performing that live as well and seeing the like reaction from the crowd. And I think, you know, it's one of my favourite things to write about 100%, like, you know, raving. And I love writing lyrics, you know, and especially writing this song. I have to big up Karen, Paul and Punctual helped me write like the melody. I love the melody of this song because it's just, they really went in on that, and I think that brought me out of my comfort zone a bit more. Like when I'm writing lyrics, it kind of like I usually do both at the same time, but it was amazing. I think that's really strong melody on that.
And talking about, you know, the big shows that you've been playing, we've got to talk about Creamfields, where, you know, you perform this tune got debuted to people, and then all of a sudden your timelines were full of release this now, release this now. How was that?
Yeah, it was amazing, man. We did the song together for the first time at that event, so it was like it's quite a big show to do that at. It's a bit like no
only
pressure,
one of the biggest festivals in Europe. You know, let's just do a brand new tune.
Yeah, no, but I feel like we've been doing these performances together, and I feel that's really helped to get people to know the song. And obviously, I've been playing it a little bit in my sets before that, but really, like, it's been a pleasure doing these performances with Katie, and it's really been cemented that tune in people's minds. But like going back to what you were saying, I think Katie's amazing about writing about raving and going clubbing and stuff, and it's just something that's really good for you, you know. Like I don't ever want to hang up my raving shoes either, you know. Like I think like doing that once in a while is good for the soul, isn't it? And she's amazing at writing about that type of thing.
But that's the thing for me, is that, you know, it's something that you feel like it's a universal thing, isn't it, for us within dance music, that club experience. But to encapsulate that club experience and put it in a song is hard. But you've done it.
Yeah, it's hard to do. It's hard to talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Absolute banger. Well, listen, Katie, your voice has driven some of the biggest dance records of the last decade or so. And you know what? It's been a while since we've had you on a big dance banger like this. I think the last time that we were playing you on the station was with Kings of the Rollers right at the start of last year. Talk to me about why you feel you still resonate with dance music now, because you as a vocalist, you as an artist, you could sing the phone book and it would be sick. And you know this. But you always keep coming back to dance. Why?
I think that, I mean, as I said, that's how I spend my weekends. You know, I was just literally in MOT Centre raving. Emerald had a gig at the weekend. It was funny, actually. We bumped into these young girls, asked to take a picture of them on their digital camera, and they're like in their 20s. I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen these. That's what all the girlies are doing now, apparently. They're like, it's like vintage, you know. And we were like, are you gonna upload this to Facebook afterwards? And they were like, what? They didn't understand what we were saying. We were like, okay, you don't get it. And then they were like, then we said how old we were. So we were like, where are you, over 35, 36? And they were like, oh really, you give us hope. We were like, what?
Wow.
And I was like, give us hope. I was like, guys, it's fine. Like, we can still rave even though we're 35. Like, come on, guys. Like, it's not. But it was hilarious. I was like, wow, this has come full circle with the digital camera, and it's like, yeah. But no, I'm definitely still in the rave. Yeah.
Feels horrible to say this, but On a Mission is 13 years old this year. 13.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's wild. It feels like it was yesterday. But the thing is that that album and Little Red and everything that followed it is pure timeless music. How does it feel knowing that you made songs that 13 years later still shut down the rave, still shut down radio, still are some of the best records that have come out of the British dance music scene?
I think when you make dance music, that's kind of like your absolute dream, you know. Like, I remember being in the club when I was a teenager and like hearing those songs like Little Man or, you know, all those big hits, like, and just being like, wow, like, you know, just you kind of want one of those bangers that will always like smash the rave for years to come, you know. So it's an amazing feeling when I hear like On a Mission coming in, or, you know, Tell Me or As I, or, you know, and then you see people's like reactions to it. You're like, like there's no better feeling than that.
And when you get to perform them, what kind of a reaction are you getting? Does it make you think, do you know what, young Katie, you were onto something now?
Yeah, it still feels amazing performing, my songs and getting a reaction, and you know, especially at festivals and stuff like that. I really would love to do. I think the last time I did like a headline show was when I released my last EP. I mean, that might have been like 4 years ago or something like that. You know, so I think I'm due my own tour as well.
I think so.
Hopefully I can get that sorted out.
We want that. We need that.
Soon.
We really need that. We really do. And I mean, look, you know, aside from Focus, you know, you've worked with some of the biggest names, Kate Tronada, Scream, Benga, Miss Dynamite. What is it that you love about collaborating with people? Because you do it so well.
I think sometimes when I go into the studio, like producers, like sometimes singers go in and they're like, you know, they have their own vision of what they want to hear or what's in their mind in terms of production. But I really just love kind of going in and choosing someone I really, you know, respect, and working with them and being like, oh, what have you been listening to? You know, like what is smashing the raves at the moment, you know, and kind of like bringing those two things together. And also, I love writing to instrumentals as well. Like, I think it's from, going back in the day when I'd just have like a CD of beats or whatever, and like a producer would be like, oh, here you go. And just
here you go, write over these.
Yeah, write over these. Yeah, that feeling of just kind of writing to something and being in my bedroom as well. And, being on my own, I love, that's one of my favorite places to write, because it kind of has all of my things in it. Sometimes when you're in a studio, it can be quite clinical and cold, but if I'm in my room, I've got like a book that I'm reading, or where something, I might have seen an interesting word or sentence that can spark inspiration and stuff like that. So I love writing to just beats and stuff like that as well. I don't know why we started talking about this actually.
Well, no, because it's the fact that you collaborate really well.
Yeah. So I love having kind of like a finished product sometimes, because a string or a beat, I find that so inspiring in terms of how that makes me feel, and then what that kind of brings up in me. And I close my eyes and I'm in the rave, and I'm getting inspiration from a memory or something. So yeah.
Is this now you back making music full time, or are we going to get like Katy B releases sporadically as we have done for the past few years?
I know, because even talking about Paradise, that was like 2 years ago. I'm like acting like that was literally like last week. In my mind, that was last week, and it really wasn't. So yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
I know that you keep yourself busy, but we need more Katy B music in the world, please.
Yeah, I need to finish things, and I'm always writing. I'm always making music. So. But yeah, I just need to kind of tidy everything up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick, Subfocus, mate. It's been an incredible year for you. Like, ridiculous. It looked like you had possibly the busiest summer of any DJ that I know. Some of the biggest stages in the world. How does it feel to take your sound to these places?
Yeah, it feels amazing, man. There's definitely some territories now that are really opening up. Like in the States, I've been playing like some of the biggest ever sets, like at EDC this year. It was like on some really big stages. So yeah, it feels amazing, man. It's really cool to be going into new territories. I think there's like some of the stuff I've been making, some of the stuff Chasing Status have been making, been really resonating over there. And I love it when as a working DJ, when you sort of get an offer for a new place. So like I was getting offers for going to Brazil or like Mexico, and these are places I haven't really been to a lot. So that's super exciting. And like Asia as well. So yeah, but it's been an amazing year. I've really was blown away by how well the John Summit collab has gone down and resonated with people, and
because that felt like a proper meeting of minds.
Yeah, it was cool, man. I mean, basically had the idea to do like a song that speeds up, and so it kind of bridges our two styles, and I think that worked particularly well because like there were some like house DJs who were like finishing on drum and bass, so that started to become a bit of a trend in like some of the bigger dance festivals because it's so high energy, so people are like I think more people are hearing it now, so more people are kind of resonating with that. So a lot of big DJs have been doing that, and I think that song was a perfect song to do that with. Transition into drum and bass from house. Obviously, working with Katy has been a huge highlight, and had my track Wildfires, which went down really well with fans as well. So yeah, man, it's been really, really amazing year. I'm actually trying to like chill things out for a bit while I like write some more music. So I've like really been careful not to take on too much in the winter, so I've got like enough time to write.
Clever.
And that feels really good. I'm immediately like feeling more relaxed now.
When Nick tells me about his schedule, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm never complaining about my tour schedule ever again. Ever.
America,
I'm
Brazil.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I had 5 gigs in 2 days last weekend, which was quite crazy. But they were all in the UK, so it was like just driving around and getting trains and stuff.
That's hard though.
Pretty full on, yeah. Somebody actually came to all 4 sets I did on Saturday, which is bad because I was thinking I didn't play like a completely different set at all those shows. There may have been some tunes in common between the 4. Sorry.
It would be remiss for me to have you in the studio and not talk about, you touched on it there, the almost resurgence of drum and bass
Yeah.
in the public consciousness.
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean, for people like us that we've been around it for so long, we're just waiting for other people to catch on. What is it that you think that's made other people realise the quality of drum and bass as a genre?
It's hard to say like what's why it's happened now, but I guess it's just a lot of like talent in the scene, I think. And I think there's just been some songs that really crossed over. I'm interested like what Kate thinks as well, actually. I think, but I feel like you know, maybe there's someone was saying to me, you know, maybe there's a certain amount of like sort of urban music fans who've like been hearing tracks like Badadan, and then they're like kind of coming over from those sort of genres a little bit as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's all cyclical as well, you know. I almost like when this happens, I try not to get too excited because I've been into this music for so long that I've seen this happen once or twice before.
Yeah.
And like it was massive in the 90s when I first got into it. And then it had a dip and there were magazines saying drum and bass is dead. And it wasn't. It just, you know, went underground for a little bit of time and kind of, I think as long as there's really strong underground, we're good. And, you know, it's nice to have all this variation in the scene from like, you know, vocal stuff through to really underground stuff. And I think it's important to kind of keep that variation going and all those different styles. But yeah, I think there's so many good producers right now that are doing bits like obviously Chasing Status having a huge moment. People like Boo, K9, Sota, lots of new jump up guys, HeadX.
And the other thing that I've noticed about drum and bass kind of 2023, 2024 moving forward is the venues have got bigger.
Yeah.
And bigger and bigger. We have to talk about your show that's coming up at London's Alexandra Palace.
Yeah.
Sold out in 20 minutes.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
20 minutes!
I was so nervous about putting that on sale as well. So it's,
why?
Well, you know, it's just a lot of tickets to sell. You're like,
True.
Let's hope this works. You kind of every time you do a big show like that, it's, you know, it's a bit of a leap of faith.
You must have felt amazing though when it was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, nice. No, it's incredible.
Brush that dirt off your shirt.
Yeah.
No, I'm blown away. I was kind of like, you know, we haven't played in London in a while, so we kind of like, and we're doing a new version of my show, Circular Sound. So I think those combination of things kind of made people excited. Yeah.
Tell me about this new version of Circular Sound, or what you can tell us.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell you too much yet because we're still playing around with designs. But yeah, I mean, I love doing shows with production, and I'm like really into the sort of artistic side of the visuals, and like get quite stuck into the production of those. So I love that I can do those shows as well where it's more visual based, and this show's obviously all my own music as well.
Nice.
So I'm just like in control of everything. It's cool.
I do have to ask you, because not a lot of people will know how amazing you are as a producer, not just in drum and bass.
Oh yeah.
You have some fantastic tunes in your back catalogue in other genres. Are we going to see you do other genres now that you're in this space within your career?
I feel like
I need another Focus house record, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would love to, man. I love making house. I've got to say, though, I think a few years ago, because when I was a bit younger, I was kind of like, I wanted to prove that I could do all these different genres. And now I'm kind of like more in the mode of like, I'm very proud of being part of this drum and bass scene with this rich history, and that's what I'm about. So I have really doubled down on just making drum and bass, but I definitely will experiment with tempos again. And I can't say whether I'll do that just yet, but we'll see.
I mean, it's an alias.
I love to do. I've talked about doing a house alias for so long, but it is quite hard doing more than one thing. You know, I think only a few producers have really successfully done that. You know, like I think Pendulum and Knife Party, Special Request, Paul Wolford. You know, there's a few people who've done it really well, but it's quite hard, I think.
It is, especially with your schedule.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's been an absolute treat to have you both in the studio, and you know how much of a fan I am of both of you collectively and individually. So please, let's not make it so long since I see you next time in the studio.
I've got to make some new music, haven't I?
Yes, please, Katie. Yes, please. Studio crew, please, can we make some noise for Focus Katy B?
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.